Okay, what made you want to start the Urban National Alliance on Mental Health Issues, aka Urban Nami, in the greater Cincinnati area?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but I wanted to start it because I recognize that in our urban community that people were not getting access to the information, the education about mental illness. And so they were like a century behind when it came to thinking about mental illnesses. They weren't aware that early treatment helps people to recover. They weren't aware of recovery in mental illness. They weren't aware that people can have a mental illness and get on with their lives and make a contribution to the community. So I, recognizing that after several years of being on the boards for Nami National, that's Nami, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and working with the people out of Columbus and Nami, Ohio, I thought, you know, we need to have a way to do outreach to the people in our urban community.
You have an MBA. What made you interested in going into mental health advocacy?
Actually, it's a personal issue. I have a loved one who I love very much, who started exhibiting these symptoms several years ago. And I found out that my involvement in it meant that I had to advocate on their behalf. And one of the best things that I found out was Nami. And so then I got involved in it, and it just kind of took control of my life. It became everything. It was like, I gotta get this loved one well, and it worked. I found that people can recover, that they can become part of the community. They don't have to be locked up in a so-called hospital. But I found out so much more about the system and how inadequate the system can be. And I think it just became a passion to make sure that people understand about mental illness.
Awesome. Now, this month is National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. Are you doing something for that, special for the month?
We are. We are having an event on Saturday at the Art Academy of Cincinnati, 1212 Jackson Street, starting at 7:30. We're providing breakfast and lunch. And our event on Saturday aims to do is to get people talking about it. Because talking about it, just like when people were talking about AIDS and HIV, then once people started to talk about it, a lot of the stigma went away and people would get the help they need. The same thing with mental illness. Because of the stigma, people don't go get help. And the sooner they get diagnosed, the sooner they get treatment, the sooner they start knowing what to do, the better their outcomes. So our event of Saturday, we hope to walk away with an action plan where people will look at what can they do as individuals, as a group, or with an organization to reduce the stigma around mental illness and to reduce the disparities that are experienced in our urban greater Cincinnati community. Dwight Hollier is with the National Football League, and he will be our keynote speaker, and he'll be speaking from his perspective about mental illness and be answering questions about what goes on with the Football League and any questions about his personal life and involvement in this.
Now, can people just show up to 1212 Jackson Street, or do they need to register online, or is there a certain...
Yeah, they can. We are selling tickets. It's $50 for the breakfast and lunch and the entire event, but there is a free reception this evening at the historic Herzog at 811 Race Street. And we can provide them with any more information. They can buy tickets there, or they can buy tickets at the door on Saturday morning. And we are having Dr. Noble Messeru, the health commissioner here in over the health department here in Cincinnati. We're having Dr. Kate Chard out of the VA, who specializes in PTSD with veterans, and we're having Dr. Felicia Avery, who is the Vice President of Kroger Pharmacy, to speak, and they will be talking specifically on the perspective of their organizations with mental illness, making people rethink how they look at folks who have a serious mental illness.
Yeah.
You know, 1 in 4 people deal with a mental illness, either within themselves or with someone that they love very much. And a lot of times it's denial. And so I'd like people to walk away thinking, wow, they really are people, and I really am hurting feelings when I laugh at them, when I ignore them, when I look down on them, when I call out names, when I use inappropriate language with them. I want people to walk away thinking that they will change how they view mental illness, because that's where the stigma is. You know, people don't want to go to psychiatrists because a psychiatrist, that means something's wrong with you. You know, you've done something wrong. So we want people to think differently, and we want people talking about mental illness. People don't want to talk about it. You know, they don't want to get into a good discussion about it and its treatment, and they really don't know about recovery, and that we want people talking about that. That's why we have invited people from all over the community.
And thank you for all the work you do. You obviously are having a great impact in getting out there the message that people should be treated like people.
Absolutely. People need to be treated like people, and they can and do make a big contribution to society. So, you know, we need to have them as part of our community and accept their contributions in spite of the illnesses that they experience.